Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily stock market review for the trading day ending Monday, January 26th. Firstly to the S&P 500, and here we see a confirmed change of trend today to the downside, a candle making a lower high and a lower low, but a candle where the control of the market has shifted back to the buyers, with the market closing up at the high for today's trading. The day prior to today we had a black body candle closing down at the lows, so the short-term dynamics have shifted away from the sellers closing with control for the previous session to the buyers closing with control today, even though the trend hasn't changed, or the trend has changed to the downside. This suggests that there is potential for a change of trend back to the upside, with the buyers taking control, and also with the buyers finding some upside net momentum in terms of this being a white body candle as opposed to the black body candle where the sellers had found some downside momentum. Now importantly also, we've seen this highlighted zone, this yellow zone that's been in force for quite some time, acting as support for the last couple of days trading, and the market testing down below there from the open and finding support at the 2040 level and bouncing off to close just above that zone. And it also suggests, with a bullish close just above there, that there is potential for the market to trade higher. Now we do have some recent resistance around these swing highs around the 2064 level, and that should be watched very closely for tomorrow's trading. But if we see the market break out up through there in a bullish manner early, we could eventually see the market testing to the next swing high around the 2079 level, or to the major high eventually around 2093. That bullish trading would be in line with the market being bullish in all three timeframes. We're trading above the Ichimoku cloud, the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, and the bullish activity is also supported by the Chikou span being above the corresponding price action. And just looking at our bands here with the S&P, and we see continued price activity within the bands. So we don't have a strong bullish or bearish bias at the moment, but the market is just trading above the middle of the bands and suggesting that the bias is just slightly bullish. Importantly here, however, the market has found support around the middle band and bounced off there on a fairly bullish candle, although a candle that has changed the trend to the downside. But it does suggest that there is potential for that change of trend now, and potential for the market to trade higher. And what we'll be looking at is the upper band at 2069 to potentially hold as resistance, or for the market, for the buyers, if they are strong enough to break out to the upside. Now there's no indication that they are going to be strong enough here to test up to that level, but with the buyers taking back control, it does suggest good possibility for the market to trade to higher levels. Next to the Dow 30, and here over the last couple of trading days we've seen the same price rejection from a highlighted yellow zone of previous support and resistance. This level has been tested probably a little bit more vigorously than with the S&P, and it's been a bit more reliable in the strong price rejection that we've had in the recent past from this area. And once again we saw that black candle form as the market tested to within that area, but the sellers have lost control on this current candle, even though it has changed the trend to the downside. Support coming in at the 1760 level, also at the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, so very, very solid support down around this area, extending down to the top of the Ichimoku cloud at 17536, and this does set the market up for a potential change of trend back to the upside, with the buyers closing with control of this market. The problem here, however, is this resistance from the recent past at the 17735 level, and above there this highlighted zone. Moving to the Nasdaq 100, and here we see very different type of trading activity than we've seen for the S&P and the Dow 30, and here we've seen two consecutive spinning top type candles. Now the previous day's trading, which was Friday's trading, we saw formation of a weak indecisive spinning top type candle at the end of this very strong and significant trend, which broke out through the top of the cloud. It suggested good potential for a change of trend, and that's what we've seen today. We've seen that change of trend form, but on another weak candle, another very small body candle, where the net progress made between the open and the close has been very small. The good thing here has been to the upside, and we have seen the buyers close with control by closing up between the midpoint level and the high. Now it's not strong control, but it is control. And the important thing here is, on the downtrend, we haven't seen the sellers take control, and that does suggest potential for a change of trend back to the upside. Now just looking at the Nasdaq 100 here with the bands, and very different trading than we've seen for the other markets. So it's suggesting that this market is a little bit stronger by trading up around that upper band and very close to giving us a breakout. Now we did have a breakout and a close up above the upper band, but it wasn't on the bullish type of trading activity that I like to see. And with this very indecisive trading activity around here, it does suggest that there is potential for this area to hold as resistance, and if the sellers are strong enough to test the market down to lower levels, and potentially strong support coming in at the middle of the bands at 4208. But the opportunity is here for the buyers if they are strong enough to change the trend. If we see a bullish close outside of that upper band, it would herald a strong bullish bias, and then we want to see strong follow through after that, if that does occur, to confirm the bullish activity. But at the moment we've got indecisive activity here, small white bodies suggesting a lack of net progress by both sides, and a lot of indecision in this market. Now just taking a quick look at some of the sectors in this market, and the healthcare sector has been quite strong recently. The Ichimoku chart on the left hand side is a daily chart, and we see strong bullish activity up above each of the Ichimoku indicators, supported by the Chica span. For the last couple of days we've seen support coming in around the Tenkan-sen indicator, suggesting that we have quite a strong bullish bias and bullish momentum to the upside in this market, and the buyers closing with control on this current candle. Over to the right hand side with the bands, and we've seen the upper band holding a strong support for the last couple of trading days, the market bouncing off there and highlighting that very strong bullish bias in that longer term, in that medium term time frame. If we do see the market come off from here, the upper band trading at the moment at roughly at about 2380 will be an important benchmark for this market, and if we see a strong bearish close down within there, we could eventually see the market testing down to around that middle of the bands and then reassess there. But at the moment, very, very healthy market. The real estate sector as well is one that's quite healthy, looking very similar to the healthcare sector on the Ichimoku charts, trading up above each of the Ichimoku indicators, bouncing off the Tenkan-sen indicator, and now once again beginning to trade outside of that upper band on the relative strength comparative to the S&P 500, so quite a strong sector. Good solid bullish activity up above the upper band here on the right hand side, suggesting a very strong bullish bias is being maintained, and if we do see any selling coming in, looking to the upper band about 685 to hold a strong support.